let us know what is weeding. If you observe a groundnut field, you can also find certain plants which are growing adjacently to the groundnut plants. These are called weeds and are undesirable plants. These plants must be removed immediately because these weeds compete with the main groundnut plants for sources like water, nutrients from the soil, and sunlight. They also cause different diseases and serve as a host for different pests. They may also cause respiration problems. Therefore, they need to be controlled. Long before, a weed called Parthenium was accidentally imported from Australia along with wheat. Since then, its growth began to be witnessed here too. Its pollen grains are likely to cause certain environmental problems and allergies to human beings. Some weeds like Garika, Vanza, Varipilla Gaddi, Suka, Bhogi, Dharaka, Buradatunga grow along with paddy. We can see plants like Gunugu, Gaddi Chamanti, Jiluga in vegetable crops, Pogaku Malle in tobacco, Pulichinta in mirchi and cotton fields are the common weeds. Process of weeding. Now, let us understand how weeding is exactly done. Weeding is done by using different methods by the farmers. Weeds are majorly uprooted during the tilling or plowing process itself. Even after tilling or manual uprooting of the weeds, if there are any remains of weeds, they must be removed before flowering, because flowering would attract pests and cause them to spread. Sometimes these weeds are removed by using weed harrow. Examples: Dhante or Guntaka is used by farmers to remove weeds from the fields. If weeds grow after the primary plant, it reaches its maximum height and it becomes impossible to get rid of them with the above mentioned methods. So, weedicides like 2,4-D, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid are sprayed by the farmers to control the weed growth. Weedicides are manufactured in a way that are specific only for a particular target, and they tend to cause no harm to other plants which grow beside the weeds.
Knowledge check. Attempt the following questions to check your understanding.
Now let us study about how to harvest the grown crops. Harvesting of a crop is the most predominant task in agriculture. Gathering the grains from the crop by cutting the mature crop is called harvesting. Harvesting is done either by pulling out or by cutting down the mature crop close to the ground. After cutting down, the crop is dried under the sun so as to ensure moisture vaporization, if any. After the moisture gets evaporated, the seeds are separated out from the crop either manually or by machinery. Harvesting of paddy. In case of paddy crop, the harvesting is done by using a sickle. After cutting the ripe crop, it is made to dry under the sun for about 2 to 3 days. This is done to ensure that all the water is evaporated. If not, this can cause the sprouting of the rice grain. Farmers mostly choose machinery for the harvesting procedure because it is easy and proficient. Farmers feed sparrow, their friend, before harvesting the crop. This is especially done by the young children in the family. They collect ripened grains, make a bundle of it, and put it at the top of their roof for them to eat. The sparrows, in gratitude, thank the farmers by chirping. In order to meet the food requirements of growing population, there should be an increase in cultivating land. But nowadays, most of India's rural land has remained uncultivated. This is mainly because of unavailability of seeds, insufficient water to the fields, power problem, market problem, etc. By keeping the above things in mind, farmers think that agriculture is not a profitable sector. But actually, agriculture is the backbone of our economy. Agriculture can be made more sophisticated and convenient by providing facilities. This enables the farmers to be encouraged and work better to meet the food demands of the nation. Young people need to develop more passion towards agriculture, which would be a beneficial occupation in the near future. Following are the three methods used for harvesting the crop: threshing, winnowing, modern harvester. Click each tab to know more. Threshing. In this harvesting method, the crop stalks are held and are beaten on a hard surface to segregate the grain. Machines are also used to serve this purpose. Threshing is also done with the help of bullocks which trample the grain. Winnowing. In this process, the harvested grains are poured down from a certain height with the help of a basket or a tray. The wind blowing would separate the lighter husk, dust, and chaff aside, whereas the heavier grains collect below. Modern harvester. Currently, it's quite common to harvest the grains with the help of a harvester. Generally, after collection of seeds, farmers separate the grains by using a process called winnowing. This process is done manually by farmers by using a charter and a fan or a winnowing machine. In some villages, you might have observed that farmers harvest their crops on the roads instead of using bullocks. But this is a very dangerous practice because sometimes accidents may happen. Farmers generally use traditional methods to harvest.